your timing could not be better. We are back in the pits here at the Marina circuit, the meeting place of champions, for a very busy Thursday night indeed. It's going to be a very tough one for all of the contenders out there as we prepare for the second race of the second round of the F4 Middle East Championship. It's going to be under the lights tonight as the sun slowly fades away here in the United Arab Emirates, but as you can see from the blustery conditions down here, the wind has picked up big time. There's even a slight chance of rain. It is very, very slight, but it's not going to be the big factor tonight. Those crosswinds and the cold temperatures are going to be a real factor. The F4 Middle East cars, as you can see, about to get out onto the starting grid. They will leave the pits here and then complete most likely 2 installation laps. Maybe some of them will only do 1. But the idea tonight is a very simple one. Look after those tyres. It is going to be a real mission out there for the contenders. With the temperatures being a lot less than they've had in recent times, these tyres are obviously going to be very, very sketchy at times. Also, it's worth noting that some of the drivers in this particular race, race 2, which is our reverse grid race, will be on fresh tyres. Some of them will be on old ones. So it's going to be a bit of a mixed gambit in terms of the strategy call. What we are definitely in for, though, is a very tough race out there. Pole position goes to one of our Yazheat Racing Academy drivers from right here in Marina, and that is August Raber. Having done a fantastic job yesterday to get into the points, he's now on pole position. And in second place on the grid alongside him is going to be Alexander Savinkov, who did a fantastic job with the Race GP team yesterday. But in third position, an early favourite for this one, even though he's a rookie, is the Williams Academy youngster from Ukraine, Alexander Bondarev. What can he do from third position on the grid? I caught up with him over the course of the week to see how he's preparing for his campaign here in the Marina circuit. Well, Sasha, the Bison is in the Middle East. It's good to see you and looking very fresh stepping up into the world of F4. How's the transition been?
It's been quite difficult at first, but the more driving you do, the better it is. Obviously now it was my first time at this track last week, and the first time on the GT tires. So it took a bit while to understand how things are, but now with every session I do, I keep improving. So it's really starting to get better now.
And you're one of the newest members of the Formula One community, having stepped into the Williams Academy. All those days in the karting circuits across Italy and across Europe, having become a European champion, nice to see them paying off with Williams recognition, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. Williams have been helping me a lot. In the transition from karting to cars, they know way more than I do for sure in this area. So yeah, it's been great to have the support of them. So it just made the transition a lot easier.
Now, a lot of Formula One fans will wonder how a Formula One team works. You now have a lot of direct experience and a good relationship with James Bowles. What's it like having that sort of person to sort of guide you and keep you steering in the right direction?
Yeah, of course. James has been managing an F1 team now for a few years, so like everything he says is right. You can't argue with him, you know. So of course it's been great to whenever I need a bit of something that I don't quite understand, I ask him and he helps me.
You and I share something very much in common, not just having the same birthday, obviously, but
yeah.
also that we've both managed to walk through those legendary doors at Grove and seen all the history of that Formula One team. That must have been so special the first time.
Yeah, of course. Walking into the factory the first time, seeing all the trophies from the years has been great, of course. And now knowing that you're part of the team is a really great feeling.
Let's talk a little bit about the racing so far. Last weekend, let's put it as delicately as possible, it didn't go the way you wanted it to. Let's talk about what really happened out there. Was it just a combination of getting those rookie jitters out of the way, or were there some technical problems we weren't aware of?
No technical issues. Just didn't quite adapt to the tire fast enough in time for qualifying, and then when you qualify mid-pack in F4, it just makes it really difficult. So yeah, I had to fight through in all the races. Obviously, the DNF in the race 2 didn't help, but now we're back for round 2, and I hope to qualify a lot higher up to be able to fight at the front.
I'm guessing missing the second practice session basically on Friday didn't really help either.
Yeah, it didn't help. Of course, it's half of your official track time gone. So yeah, it wasn't great, but now we've fully reset and we're back for round 2.
But what a lot of the fans on social media were talking about was when it did start to go well for you in races 1 and races 3, there were some real flashes of your fighting spirit. You are that kind of person who, if you're in a difficult position, you fight fire with fire. You really push yourself.
Yeah, no, race 3 was a lot better than the 2 races before. We went from P19 to P11 to score some points. So obviously it was great to fight through. Still was lacking a bit of pace, probably because of the dirty air from the cars in front, just lacking that bit of downforce compared to the guys at the front. But yeah, it is what it is.
One of the things that seems to be really helping you with making those charge forward is looking after tyres. You seem to have really got to understand these tyres quite well.
Yeah, no. When you look up at these tyres, really, you start to like front and start to get a lot of understeer after that. So it's been really important to save tyres until the end, so then you have an advantage over your competitors at the end of the race.
We've now, of course, got a slight change of pace this weekend because we have the corkscrew layout. You've had a couple of sessions to get an understanding of it. How different is it going through those corners?
Yeah, no, it's really different. The initial braking zone is really difficult to get right as you're kind of going through the corner and you have to slow down at the same time. But yeah, the section is really fun and I enjoyed it a lot.
Everyone's really keen to see what you can do this second round, and we hope to see you up at the sharp end again. Good luck with it.
Thank you very much.
Great to hear from young Alexander Bondarev, the young Williams Racing Academy youngster here in the F1 Middle East Championship, starting third on the grid on this shorter layout for race 2 of the weekend, and round 2 of course on the corkscrew layout. It's not quite the full Grand Prix circuit. They have that little chicane partway between the second corner apex and the back straight, so it cuts the back straight almost in half. What it does do is it makes setup of these cars more towards downforce than top end speed, and it's going to be a very tricky night tonight. We've got 4 races to cram in, and as you can see, it's already very nearly pitch black here at the Yas Marina circuit. We're going to go into the wee hours. I'm fairly certain that races on Formula 4 and Formula Regional will never have been as run as late as they are tonight. It's a real task that's ahead of us for these 4 races to come. Fortunately, the drivers have been given permission by both parents and schools that they can stay up past their bedtime on a Thursday afternoon.
for this particular race week. It's a fantastic opportunity for us to see them. That is the entry point to the corkscrew. You're going to see them go through on the installation lap. So instead of dropping down the hill, they turn square left and then go through the chicane that drops down to meet the back straight about 1/3 of the way down it. So the long straight there is cut down to 2/3 of its initial length. But it definitely makes for really exciting racing for us, because it now becomes really exciting to see how it all continues to progress. Because now we're going to get to see them as they really have a different type of car to race with. We saw yesterday both Kiya Nakamura-Berta in F4 and Freddie Stater in Formula Regional did not have the same experience on the corkscrew layout that they did on the full Grand Prix circuit. It's a very different racetrack, even though 90% of the circuit is the same, but the way you have to prepare the cars and set them up makes it very different. So the contenders are making their way now to the starting grid. There is August Rader, the man who will line up in pole position for the Yas Heat Academy. What an opportunity for him in his first front row start and a first pole position in his 5th race in the F4 Middle East Championship. This is a big ask for him, but it's not like he's going to have a tough race of it any more than anybody else who would have taken up the residency in pole position. We've got an empty grid spot in 2nd place at the moment, but any moment now it's going to be Alexander Savinkov who rocks up to take it. In fact, here he comes into his position for the Race GP squad. So there is the man who will run in P2. Alexander Savinkov runs under an Italian license. He's got a Ukrainian flag on his halo. That is in deference to his mother. So really exciting to see what Savinkov can do. He's been a real mixer in that top 10 as well. He's been able to put off some good overtakes in the lower end of the top 6. So we should see some really exciting performances from Savinkov tonight. But a lot of eyes are going to be on this man for Prema and for Williams, the Ukrainian Alexander Bondarev. What an opportunity it is for the FIA Karting European Junior Champion 2023. Has been a bit of a megastar through his karting days. Through very small beginnings, he has become a champion of Europe, and he's been a contender in karting for such a long time. His stature and his maturity is increasing all the time. His rate of development is one of the most spectacular in the junior racing field, and no doubt he is going to be Ukraine's best chance yet to reach the Formula One paddock. They really believe in him at Williams, as do many people, not just in Ukraine, but around the world. The man in 4th position on the grid. This will be an exciting battle for him as well. Martin Molnar, the Hungarian. You heard from him last night in the pre-race interview that we did with the Hungarian. He's really acclimatising to life in the F4 Middle East. He has raced a full F4 campaign, and that was the British Championship last year. But this is very different. Different tyres, different circuits, different climate. Everything is a very different task for the Hungarian Martin Molnar. A little bit further back, in 5th position on the grid, watch out for this man, Renaud Franco. He's got to be one of the favourites to win this race. He's been so strong in his battles for the podium. He's come very close a couple of times already this season, but with him being there in 5th position on the grid, with a lot of the big hitters behind him, this could be an open door opportunity for the Dutchman to work his way forward from 5th on the grid. He's got a really good chance. 6th position on the grid, it is the 2nd of the Yas Heat Racing Academy cars. Another driver with a big opportunity tonight, Adam Alazade, the younger brother of Keanu, the son of Kareem. And this man has been so spectacular in the first 2 weekends of the championship. He's been really a big hitter, playing it with the big boys right from the outset. Don't forget, he only joined F4 car racing midway through last year. He didn't even start the season. He had to wait until he turned 15. So he is a real prodigy and a real star in the making. Madison wants to know, what's the wind like tonight? In a word, choppy, I would probably say. It's not looking particularly easy for anybody. This man's going to have a tough mission of it. Alex Powell, 7th on the grid. Lots of opportunities to gain from this race. He had 2 missed opportunities at the first round when he led initially on the first start of the first race of the season, and then got stuck in 2nd gear, and then from pole position the car just wouldn't engage gear. More clutch problems kept him off the top spot. This is a chance to rewrite the history. 8th on the grid, Kiya Nakamura-Berta. Tough night last night, having to hold on for dear life to 2nd place, and he only lost it in the final chicane. Still 3rd position, has still scored a podium finish in all 4 of the top 4 races of the season. Still very much a championship contender. This will be a real test of his powers. How does he fight back from here? But one thing you will definitely see from Kiya Nakamura-Berta is a fight. He's not the kind of person who will just sit and wait. He'll go for it. Lots of confidence after the last couple of opportunities. Thomas Stoltjemanis, race 2 winner at round 1, and stole that second position away from his teammate Kiya Nakamura-Berta in last night's encounter. Expect the Latvian to take no prisoners tonight. Everybody's a pushover as far as he's concerned. He is going to be going for glory tonight. Great chance for Thomas Stoltjemanis, another powerhouse puncher as he works his way to the front of the field. It will be tough. The man they all want to beat, and the man they've all got a good chance to, at least in race 2, is Emanuele Olivieri. He's been the form book player for the entirety of this season so far. He's won 3 out of the 4 races so far, but this is going to be a much tougher task for him. 28 minutes plus 1 lap to go from 10th position to 1st. It is possible, but even he, with what appears to be the fastest car and the fastest head in the grid, is going to find it difficult. More big challenges behind. 11th on the grid, Chi Zhenroy, the Chinese driver who races under an Italian license. One of the most improved drivers over the last 12 months. He was there or thereabouts in the midfield last year, now starting to really knock on the door. Chi Zhenroy, obviously a rookie driver here in Formula 4 Middle East, I should say. He was a real hitter in the world of karting. Finally got things together last year, but it's great to see him really making waves out here in the Middle East. 12th position on the grid, another rookie driver, the South African, Cole Hewitson for the XL Motorsport team. A real nice contender, a pleasant person to be around in the paddock, and definitely really starting to knock on when it comes to the races. He's easily one of those who will see an opportunity and find a gap to make it work. He's going to be a real contender by the time we get to Qatar. Expect a podium or 2 from him before the end of this year. He did well when he had that reverse grid pole. A lot of pressure on him in his 2nd ever race, but he certainly made good use of it. There is Akil Elibe. We just saw a brief shot of him having taken over from Hamda Al-Kubaisi, who was there at round 1, but unfortunately she has not been able to continue her journey in the F4 Middle East for the time being. And so it's the South African Akil Elibe who has taken over the car. And so it's going to be an interesting one as we continue to make more great progression. Now, there's some good questions that are coming in from our fans. One of them, interestingly, Boxing This Lap says, does this series even have wet tyres, considering it's based in the desert? I do get what you're saying, but they do have wet tyres here, because last year, if you were watching in the 2024 campaign, we did actually have a rather wet race at Abu Dhabi on this very circuit. There's a little bit more rain in the area these days, especially with the cloud seeding activities that happens out here in the Middle East. So we do get the odd wet race. So yes, there are wet tyres in the paddock. Not that they get used very often, admittedly. There's David Kozma, number 13, the Romanian, looking very positive as he continues his racing journey. He's going to be lining up on the grid behind the young Abdullah Ayman Kamel from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Was really impressed with him last night, I have to say. Looks as though Fu Yuhao is there in position, but we're going to focus on the young man from Seoul, the South Korean, Kyoho Lee, as he gets himself ready into position. Now we are getting ourselves ready in position. Maisie Robertson wants to know, why isn't Hamda continuing? Well, the word is that while she managed to get a very decent run in the first weekend, there is actually more scheduled activities for her. It clashed with this one, so that's why she's not here. Giving you a brief roundup of what happened in yesterday's encounter. We had Kiya Nakamura-Berta and Emanuele Olivieri really going at it hammer and tongs in the first part of yesterday's race. There weren't pleasant races for everybody, but we certainly had a magnificent battle all the way down the field. Lots of great racecraft. Kiya Nakamura-Berta losing that 2nd place right at the last to Thomas Stoltjemanis, but nobody could catch the man on top. Emanuele Olivieri for Race GP. 3 wins out of 4 now. Bondarev with the rookie win. Can anybody catch Olivieri tonight? The green lights on the top of the gantry tell us that we are ready now for the formation lap. They'll go around once, they'll warm up the tyres and the brakes, and then we'll get into race trim. Looks like Fuyu Hao is going nowhere. Stalled on the start line by the look of it. I wonder if he's got clutch issues. So certainly problems there for the Chinese driver Fuyu Hao. That's difficult, very disappointing indeed. So hopefully he will get moving, indeed he does. So fortunately though, the last driver on the grid, which on this occasion is Farah Al-Youssef, was not able to overtake him before she passed position. So that means that Fuyu Hao should be able to take his original grid position back. So a bit of a headache for Fuyu Hao, and certainly not the way he wanted to start his race prep. But at least he gets to join the grid. Here we go. Here is the starting grid in full for round 2, race 2. August Reber, pole position. Alexander Savinkov in second alongside Alexander Bondarev and Martin Molnar, the Ukrainian and the Hungarian. Third row of the grid, it's Renaud Francote alongside Adam Al-Azadi from the United Arab Emirates. Then two big hitters, Alex Powell versus Kian Nakamura Berta. Will they stay away from each other in turn 1? Thomas Stolchaman is P9, and the man on top of the standings, Emanuele Olivieri, hoping to stay out of trouble. Jijen Roy and Cole Hewitson, row 6 of the grid they share. 13th on the starting grid, that is the man from South Africa, Akil Elibe, alongside Abdullah Ayman Kamel. Then it is David Kozma of Romania and Fuyu Hao of China, who should be able to take his original grid position back after a little bit of a slow start. Kyoho Lee of South Korea alongside Wang Ujie of China, then Britain's Emily Cotty alongside the Indian driver Arjun Jaheda in the Mumbai Falcons machine. Then behind we'll have Tamim Hasiba actually starting in front of his brother. Seth Gilmore is 22nd. Bader El-Sulaiti 23rd on the grid from Thiago Rodriguez, who really struggled in the first race of the weekend and then retired. Sebastian Weldon was among the retirements too, as was Salim Hanna, the Colombian, with Yuta Suzuki and Taha Hasiba not making the full race distance. And bringing up the rear of the grid, it is Farah Al-Youssef from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So all of the contenders getting themselves ready then for the start. It's going to be a very tricky one indeed. Loving your questions and your comments. Keep those coming. We may need them in a safety car, as we may get 1 or 2 tonight. And a massive big up to one particular man on the stream who's written that they were disappointed that they changed the intro song from last year. I will tell the boys. We used a very specific track last year from a band who I'm actually really good friends with. They were originally based in Bristol in the United Kingdom. Then they moved out to Chinese Taipei and became the official Olympic soundtrack for Chinese Taipei. The band is called Transition. Do go and find their music. They are amazing. So the final couple of cars getting into position then on the starting grid here in the Formula Middle East weekend. It's the F4 Middle East Championship certified by FIA. Jake Sanson in the commentary box, pole position for August Reber. It's going to get spicy from here on out. Reber, Savinkov, Bondarev, Molnar, Francote and Al-Azadi at the front. Watch for Powell, Nakamura Berta, Stolchamanis and Olivieri to get back in the action. The lights are coming on. When they go out, we're racing here in the United Arab Emirates. Let's race at Abu Dhabi. Good start from the pole sitter. Reber gets away well. Bondarev goes into second position. Nice jump on Savinkov. And Bondarev has made a beauty. Now he's going to have to work hard to put August Reber under pressure as the field tightens their way through turn 1. Looks like a good start for Olivieri, who's already got one of the Mumbai Falcons to his right-hand side. They go through the hairpin and already make their way down to the W Hotel. Is everybody getting through without incident? It's going to be a tough one, but Reber leads. Bondarev second, and up to third comes Francote. Look out, that's Nakamura Berta already going round the outside of Savinkov. What a fighter Nakamura Berta is when his dander's up. Brilliant stuff from the British driver. So Kian Nakamura Berta already moving his way forward. That's P4, and it looks as though Savinkov's still there in P5. Olivieri looks to me as though he's stuck down in about 7th position at the moment. Good start, but nowhere near as spectacular and bombastic as Kian Nakamura Berta, who's already in P4. So Reber, Bondarev, Francote and Nakamura Berta. That looks like Olivieri going to try and go on the curbs to try and get round the outside of Martin Molnar. Can he do it? No, that's Powell. That's Alex Powell making the moves, and he's done it. That is one heck of an overtake round the outside of turn 1. Somebody getting a little bit squirrely up the top, and now they're going to hit the brakes and go into the square left. That's another big move from Thomas Stolchamanis, I do believe, on the inside of Molnar. Olivieri's behind them. So he's not quite had the start that the likes of Nakamura Berta and Powell have had. As up in his second position, Bondarev is trying to get closer to August Reber. Reber's got the lead. No problems at all for the Yazid driver. Nakamura Berta will be sensing an opportunity here on Renault Franco. But Franco is not going to be an easy pickings driver. Savinkov goes out wide. That'll be a chance for Alex Powell off the exit. These reverse geared races definitely give us a lot to talk about in the initial stages. And as they come over the start-finish line into lap 2, sorry, it's going to be a tough one, as I think Olivieri's going to try and take on Savinkov. But Powell's got to get there first, and he has. So Alex Powell is forward into P5. Ottoman is 7th, Olivieri is 8th, then Molnar, Al-Azali, Chi, Lee, Humanson, Alibai, Hu, Ayman Kamel, and Wang Ujie. Raber's got a good advantage. Right, this is where Kia Nakamura Berta is going to start to have a mission of it, and he's locking up already. He had problems yesterday with this. Oh, big forceful from Stoltemanis to get through on the inside of Savinkov, and that has allowed the move from Olivieri to happen as well. So Olivieri has got through too. Stoltemanis, no prisoners, and Olivieri's going on the inside line. Oh, problems for Stoltemanis. So Stoltemanis getting out a little bit too aggressive, and he's ended up compromising himself as through again goes Savinkov, but that all worked out beautifully for Olivieri, who is now in 6th position once again. Stoltemanis is going to try one more time to get back into P7, into turn 1 of the Formula 1 layout. That'll do. So good work from Stoltemanis to get back into P7. Watch out for Chi Zhenroy. He's going to try and make the move on Adam Al-Azali as they head up towards the corkscrew. Franco still keeping Kia Nakamura Berta in check. 5th for Powell, 6th for Olivieri. Al-Azali defends from Chi Zhenroy. Almost had a look at Molnar in the process. So they drop their way to the back straight. Pitch black and under the lights here at Yas Marina, the meeting place of champions. And we're only going to get one from this F4 Middle East Championship at the end of the year. There are definitely a few candidates who are looking exciting for it now. Raber's being caught by Bondarev. Oh, Nakamura Berta having an attempt there on Franco. Franco making his car as wide as possible to keep him back. So as they come down the straight together, it's going to be a tough one, and now that's going to give Alex Powell the impetus to go for Nakamura Berta. At the same time, Nakamura Berta attempts on Franco. Powell's going to get them both if he keeps his foot in. Alex Powell, 3rd position, drifts wide. Franco back on the inside. Nakamura Berta trying to split them. Franco is the one who comes out first, but Powell and Nakamura Berta are still boxing gloves already. Brilliant stuff. And Franco hangs on from Powell. Powell's not going to try and make his move on Franco, and that has all gone wrong for the moment for Nakamura Berta. Very tough racing. 3 wide into turn 1 is so difficult to pull off, especially without contact. They just got away with it. Franco leads Powell in the battle for 3rd position. Nakamura Berta is now in front of Olivieri. Then Stoltemanis, Savinkov, Molnar, and Adam Al-Azali. August Raber has a second on Bondarev. This is all going to come down to tyre life between these two. Bondarev needs to outfox August Raber on tyres. And how long is Renault Franco going to hold up this field? Because Bondarev could really use a little bit of support here. If Renault Franco keeps that car as wide as a bus, then there's no way that Nakamura Berta and Powell are going to get ahead of him with enough time to do anything about the Ukrainian in 2nd place. That'll leave him with a chance to go for August Raber. On to the back straight. Looking good for Raber, looking very solid for Bondarev. It's all going to be about this 3rd place battle. How brave is Alex Powell feeling down into the braking zone for the chicane? And more to the point, will Nakamura Berta beat him to the punch? Down to the chicane. This will be so frustrating for Nakamura Berta, and particularly for Olivieri, who knows he's got a quick car underneath him, but he's not able to do anything about it while he's setting the train. Nakamura Berta wants to take on Alex Powell before Powell takes on Franco. And Olivieri wants to get past Nakamura Berta before any of that happens. Into the hairpin. Here they come again. Stephen Gunter pointing out that the tyres can't overheat in these situations. It's very aggressive driving, as it usually is in the F4 Middle East. What you've got to remember is they'll take a few more risks tonight than they would have done yesterday, because the track temperatures are considerably cooler now that it's night. So it's going to be a lot easier on the tyres, but that means you can be a bit more aggressive. But the big question is, how much more aggressive before things really start to fall away from you? It's a real balancing act. But so far, touch wood, we're 9 minutes into this race and we haven't had a safety car. We haven't even had anybody going off the road yet. So it's definitely the cleanest F4 Middle East race we've had. Maybe that's what we needed. Reboot, everybody back to bed for 24 hours, then you can get up and have another go. Because the driving is definitely more exciting and it's definitely cleaner. However, there is a jump start being investigated, and that is for number 15. That is the Chinese driver, Juan Rougeur. So Juan Rougeur under investigation, I'm afraid. And 9 times out of 10, when you're under investigation for the jump start, you're almost certainly going to be given a penalty for it anyway. Oh, a couple of lockups into the corkscrew. You cannot afford to overcook these tyres. That is Fu Yuhao locking up a little bit in front of Abdullah Ayman Kamal, and there are the Gamebridge yellow and black colours on the car of Sebastian Weldon, working his way back, having had a problem on the start, having to work his way back from the pits, and then unfortunately he retired from the race anyway with more ongoing problems. So hopefully tonight he can try and get some points back. There goes Weldon, making his first overtake of the night. It's not quite his first overtake of the night, but it's certainly his first televised overtake of the night. As there is the pressure cooker building. Olivieri has now got Stolchamanis closing up on him. So from 3rd down to 7th, it is a bit of an extreme fight here. Franco, Powell, Nakamura Berta, Olivieri and Stolchamanis. Very close indeed. Stolchamanis, the Latvian, looking for his chance here on the Italian. Is there a chance at the W Hotel? I can see exactly what he was trying to do there. He was trying to sling wide round the outside and see if there was enough momentum to carry the car to the inside line into the first of the 2 left-handers under the W Hotel bridge. So near, very nearly pulled that off there. Just not quite enough to make it work. So Raber still leads. Bondarev slipping now. Bondarev's losing a bit of ground here to Renault Franco. Those tyres are starting to drop back for him a bit. So this is going to be a tricky one. 25 minutes to 7 p.m. local time here, and it really is going to be a tricky one for the drivers to hold on to these tyres. If they're going to drive a bit more aggressively, then they're going to need to face the consequences. It's now a 6-car train. Renault Franco was the locomotive. Now it's Alexander Bondarev. So Sasha's got to really concentrate here. He cannot afford to lose second position. Into the barriers! Now that's a big hit. That's one of the Evans GP cars, I think. No, it's a Qatari. It's a QMMF car. Is that going to be a safety car? Because that's a yellow flags at turn 1. Franco's going to make his move on Bondarev just before we go. Safety car by the look of it. And it's a lovely move into second place. So Renault Franco finds the move on Bondarev. Bondarev can have another look on the slipstream. But is that going to be a safety car? It is indeed, safety car. Wow, there you go. Talk about perfect timing for Renault Franco. The Dutchman got that move just in at the end of the lap before he got the safety car command. So that's a perfectly legal overtake. And now it's going to be Raber and Franco, who is 1.9 seconds back at the line. August Raber is having an amazing race up front. What a performance from the reverse grid car. But that is very unfortunate. That looks to me like there's been an incident between Taha Hasiba and Seth Gilmore. So Seth Gilmore, I think, ending up retiring from the race, as far as I'm aware. There's the Pinnacle crew, keeping one eye on the cars around the course. None of their cars are involved in the incident, fortunately, as Emily Cotti has made her way into the pits. That's unfortunate for the British driver. Super 1 Series Junior Rotax champion in 2024. Made her way into cars last year, at the halfway point of the season. And of course she did start her F4 Middle East journey last week, so there was some truth in what I said. Here's a replay of the start. So this is perfect for Bondarev. Look at the launch as he just follows the same line as August Raber. No worries at all to chop across on Savinkov. That worked out really well, but look at Franco. He's got the bravery and the tenacity round the outside to just hold the car at the apex on the far side banking, and that's how he got himself into 3rd position round the first corner. Very nicely done indeed. You can see a few cars really struggling off the line. Not easy to get a perfect launch around this Yas Marina circuit. Look at this from Kian Nakamura Berta. This is why he's such a great racing driver. He just throws caution to the winds. Come on, let's go for it. Up into 4th position on that first lap. Great to see some choice moves. Some good battles all the way down the field. Nice move there from the opening lap. All went wrong for Stolchamanis, losing a couple of positions there. But look at this, 3 wide action. Alex Powell so brave on the inside to make the bid on Franco. Just missed his braking point a little bit. Nakamura Berta had to be compromised. And that is why we now are under safety car, because that is Seth Gilmore, the Evans GP driver. He's okay, that is the good news. He's chatting with the marshals. So after what looked like a fairly hefty thump, he he's out of the car and okay. That is the good news. So now we are going to have a really interesting restart because, of course, everything's reset. That massive lead that August Raber had is now gone. And Renault Franco, as we know, is very much up to scratch for a good battle. Love that. Helge Diess is manifesting a good restart for Bondarev. Don't think he isn't trying the same trick from the cockpit. It's going to be very difficult to get this right. Let's see if we're going to have a really solid run on the restart. August Raber in the Yas Heat colours. There's always something special about being in the Yas Heat colours on this circuit. It's the team that's obviously based here at Yas Marina. They've had some good success in the past. Chiara Malazzardi, of course, fought for the championship last year, but wasn't quite able to seal it. Only missed out by a few points, and now his brother Adam Malazzardi is in this field and going for the title himself, and certainly having a good race of it so far. Right up there in the hunt in the top 10. 10th position at the moment, just in behind Martin Molnar. It's August Raber, his teammate, who is leading the way in the Yas Heat Academy car. So August Raber, who lives on the Palm Jumeirah over in Dubai, having a very solid run in the lead from Renault Franco. Sasha Bondarev, leading rookie, 3rd position from Alex Powell, Kia Nakamura Berta, Emanuele Olivieri, Thomas Stolchemanis, Alexander Savinkov, Martin Molnar, and Adam Alazzardi. And while we've got an opportunity, just before we restart, a nice happy birthday to Motorsport Madison's mother. What a great day to have a birthday. And how lovely is that you share a birthday with the general manager of Top Speed. We had a lovely cake and wonderful tiramisus all round for Davide De Gobbi, our general manager earlier. It is his birthday today. So you share a birthday with a very, very cool person. Good for you. Many happy returns. So the safety car lights are on. Now, they did say on the briefing 2 days ago that the lights will go out on the safety car a little bit later than usual because they're trying to make the restarts a little bit more organised. Are the lights out? No, they're not on this occasion because Seth Gilmore's car is fairly buried into the barriers at turn 1. He's perfectly okay, don't worry. I made that sound a little bit more dramatic than I needed to. But the car is a lot worse for wear than Seth Gilmore is. Just went crunch into the wrong part of the barrier, so that's his race over, but he's perfectly okay. We saw a picture of him on the stream, chatting very calmly with the marshals at the side of the road. A big thanks as well to the marshals here, the Emirates Motorsports organisation, a fantastic team of marshals. They are very well trained and great work from everybody. They do a fantastic job. They're not paid to do this, they're all volunteers, and we can't go racing without them. A couple of nice grins there for the Race GP mechanics who have probably got a television monitor down there and have seen themselves on the stream. Yes, mate, you're on telly. Hello, mum. Crossing their fingers as well because they've got a very strong opportunity to win this race with Alex Powell in 4th position. And Emanuele Olivieri is only P6, so there's still plenty of time for this race to change hands on the safety car. We've got 13 minutes left of it, and I have a feeling we're going to restart this time by. So there's definitely a lot of opportunities for things to change in the top 6. It's quite unpredictable. August Raber clearly had a good car underneath him in the initial start, but that 2-second lead is gone. Franco's up for the scrap, but how much will he have overworked the tyres? Bondarev being a little bit more conservative. Maybe he's got tyre life to spare later. And then, of course, you've got the 3 powerhouse punchers behind him. Kia Nakamura Berta, Alex Powell, and Emanuele Olivieri. So it's all going to be very tricky as they make progress. Safety car in this lap. We are going to restart this time. So this is going to be a tough challenge for August Raber, our race leader in the Yas Heat Academy car. He'll watch for the lights to go out on the safety car. They'll go out a little bit later than usual, but August Raber senses that the race is going to restart. And so when the lights go out a long way down the straight, August Raber is already queuing them up. Oh, here we go. This is going to get interesting. So August Raber deciding to take the restart his own way. Now that could get investigated. So Raber holding the field. And look at Renault Franco. He's really gesticulating to August Raber. Come on, man. get a move on, and there's a big concertina effect behind. Raber's going to get the restart, but Franco, Bondarev and Powell are ready for it as they come off the turn. It's green, 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 and we are back to action. Look for Bondarev, already starting to threaten Franco. Franco's going in the draft of Raber, but Bondarev's on his own to the inside line. There could be a chance as Franco slices. Watch for Powell, 3 wide into turn 1 once again. Bondarev hung out to dry. Powell going around the outside of Franco, and that could be second place if he keeps his foot in. He goes wide off the curb, but can he rejoin? No, he's got to slot back in behind Franco. Raber is able to live to fight another day there as Alex Powell gets into 3rd position. Watch for Nakamura Berta attacking Bondarev. Bondarev squeezes in. Don't you dare get a look in. Great racecraft. Stochamanis now all over the back of Olivieri. Lots of locking up into the W Hotel. But there is your leader, Raber. He's got himself a little bit of breathing space. Franco's 2nd, Powell now 3rd, Bondarev in 4th place. There's the move on the inside line from Nakamura Berta. Don't even think about it. Bondarev holds him at bay. So now Nakamura Berta is going to be up for the fight in turn 1. Bondarev defends. Watch for Olivieri, boys. Olivieri's going round the far side, and Nakamura Berta is hoodwinked. Now Olivieri goes off the road to try and finish off the move. He's going to be on the rough stuff. Nakamura Berta is going to put his foot in. Is there going to be enough for them to run side by side? Oh, Olivieri holding his nerve and getting up the inside of Bondarev. No, you don't. The Bison is pushing back. And here comes Olivieri diving back to the inside. That'll do. Thank you. We are through and into 4th place. Great racing from Olivieri. He doesn't just disappear when he hits the front. He's great at overtakes too. Oh, and Bondarev right on the tail again. Here comes Nakamura Berta trying to slice up the middle of both of them. Who breaks latest? It's going to be Olivieri. Nakamura Berta's going to try slow in, fast out. Trying to cut across the bow, but he's got to be careful. He doesn't get tagged by Bondarev. Nakamura Berta hunting down Olivieri. The 2 big rivals of this championship fighting over 4th position. Nakamura Berta going out wide. Trying to tuck in and use as much slipstream as possible, but can he break later than Olivieri? Bondarev's got real pressure. Stochamanis going round the far side, and he's got him. So Stochamanis has now got through. Alexander Savinkov is the next big chance to move forward, but all at Bondarev's unfortunate demise. Bondarev's got to be careful. Just regroup, just rebuild. Look after the tyres now. If you've got better tyres in the final 5 minutes. Oh, Sebastian Weldon edged closer to the curbs, but he manages to survive. Well done to Weldon. So Raber now leads Franco by 0.8 of a second. When those two start battling, things could get spicy, but Powell is going to get his shot at Franco before Franco gets to Raber. So we're going to see some proper battles now as Alex Powell charges up towards the Dutchman. A little bit of a run wide there from the XL. So a really decent challenge forward. Let's see if we are going to get a little bit more from this race. Up in the sharp end, Raber, Franco, Powell, Olivieri. Big lock up as Powell again tries to close up on Franco. We're going to see some really tough racing moving forward. Off the turn and down the straight. Raber trying to break the toe of Franco. He doesn't need to. He's got that cushion of 0.8 of a second. You don't want to start defending too early. That's when you compromise the lives of the tyres just that little bbit more. Powell not close enough to Franco yet for the dive into the chicane. Olivieri going well in 4th. Nakamura Berta still hanging on from Stochamanis, Bondarev and Savinkov. But is Renault Franco going to be under big pressure here? Olivieri sets the new fastest lap of the race, a 1:46.6 to try and close up on his teammate. As Drew points out, slipstream isn't that effective in F4. You've got to get a good run off the turn to really maximise it. It can become stalemate very easily in F4. It all comes about tactics. So let's see how they run off the turns. It's starting to get a little bit tricky. The dirty air can be a real punisher in F4, particularly tonight when it's really windy. Big lock up in front of us as we watch closely Akila Libe battling away with Sebastian Weldon as they try and close up on the South African driver for XL, Cole Hewitson. Onto the Formula 1 start-finish straight. Alex Powell just giving himself a bit of breathing space. You don't got to rush this, mate. Still 7 minutes to go. Don't push the tyres too hard. If you push now, then you won't get a chance to hold on to it later. It's all about reading the situation. All these drivers under big scrutiny, not just from themselves, but also from their mechanics, from their engineers, from their driver coaches. They've been going over this all the way through the week, watching video after video, onboard after onboard. You were a little bit too aggressive in this corner. You need to roll off the power here. You can afford to take a little bit more curb here. Every single inch of this race circuit is under big scrutiny. That is bold and brave from Salim Hadda. The Colombian pulls off a Montoya-style move. I'll bet Juan Pablo will be loving that one. That was a move straight out of his copybook down into the corkscrew. It may not be for the points right now, but those are the kind of firecracker moves that Hallett has good at. Weldon putting off a killer IndyCar-style move there, switching from one side to the other. That'll do. Thank you very much. Lovely from Sebastian Weldon. See, these guys can still race for it, even if they're compromised and out of the points. They can still put on a good show. Good move from Weldon, good move from Salim Hadda. Sebastian Weldon, following in the footsteps of the Lionheart himself, the late great Dan Weldon. He'd be proud of that move. Here they come again. Raber, Franco, Powell, Olivieri and Nakamura Roberta stalemate in the top 5 at the moment. Stolchaman is still there in P6 from Bondarev and Savinkov. There's Salim Hadda having another little try. That's on the Chinese driver Fu Yuhao. Still continuing to make the moves as the drivers try and use every possible opportunity they've got. But if you have a problem in race 1, you're going to be compromised for the starting race 2. So a lot of these great overtakes pretty much choked by the fact that they're already down the order. They can only just make as much progress as they possibly can. Sebastian Weldon, though, all the way up to 13th position. He can be very happy indeed with the way his race is going. And points are possible. He's just one place away from it. If he can get ahead of Hewitson, Sebastian Weldon is scoring points tonight. There's Bondarev again, just trying to... Oh no, sorry, that's his teammate. My apologies. That was Zhizhen Roy. He's in 10th position, trying to close up on the Hungarian Martin Molnar. It's so difficult to get the braking point right for the corkscrew because you're still travelling through that long apex of the right-hander and you're still steering. And then you've got to hit the brake pedal. So it's really difficult to get that right. This is the final point position. Hewitson versus Weldon. Cole Hewitson's in 12th place. He's got a championship point. Sebastian Weldon wants one. And look at this. Alex Powell and Olivieri are battling for 3rd. Olivieri's found a way through. Alex Powell's going to try and get him back. Look, you've beaten me 3 times this season. I've got to take some points off you at some stage. And Alex Powell fights back. Gets into 3rd position once again. Terrific from Alex Powell. Olivieri's got to wait. So Alex Powell back into the position in front of his Italian teammate. Olivieri wobbles a little bit there on the curb. That's the first time, really, Olivieri's tried something and it's backfired. So a rude awakening there by his own teammate. Raber still leads. Franco's 2nd. Powell sorts it out with his teammate. Emanuele Olivieri was very humble during round 1. He was a bit surprised that Alex Powell had the problem. He was going to get well beaten by him in that first race of the season. Olivieri's had all the luck going his way. Now Alex Powell making a very clear statement. Look, I've lost points. None of those points lost were my fault. I'm going to show you exactly how this is done. It's very nicely done indeed by the Jamaican sensation. Based in Miami in Florida. He carries the Star Spangled Banner on his car. But a lot of the fans back home in Kingston Town very much claim him as their own. Star in the Caribbean, they really love him out there. Nakamura Roberta and Thomas Stolchamanis having an interesting inter-team battle building as well. Powell just trying to shake off his teammate. He's got a lot of ground to make up. He could really do with Olivieri having a difficult weekend the way he did in round 1. But you can't predict those things and you certainly can't expect them. You've just got to make full advantage of these sorts of races when you've got a chance to beat your opponent. You can get in their head and hope that that psychological edge stays with you. That's where you can make the deficit. So Alex Powell still just in front of Emanuele Olivieri for the moment. Alberto Mego wants to know why are they racing today. Well, there's been a couple of reasons for that. One of those is that logistically we've had to have both of these races at the same time, but the upcoming race weekend is already full on the books. So there was no space to fit them in for practice, qualifying and the races, not just for this championship but Formula Regional as well, heading into Friday, Saturday and Sunday. But also, there is also the consideration that next week is Chinese New Year. There's a lot of people in the paddock, including the organisation team, that want to be back with their families, so that gives them the chance to do so, which of course, Chinese New Year taking place next Wednesday. And not only that, but of course that gives us a little bit more time to make sure that everything is all sorted and ready, so that we can get ourselves ready for round 3 at the Dubai Autodrome, an hour and a half away from here. Good battle down the pit straight of the Formula 1 paddock, as the Pinnacle desperately tries to keep Fuyu Hao at bay. That is Kyo-Ho Lee, the Korean, and he's got Salim Hanna breathing down both their necks at the moment, trying to find his own way to move forward. Then it's Ayman Kamal Rodriguez and David Kozma, the Romanian. This is what I love about F4, big lock-up as again Kyo-Ho Lee has to work hard to stop Fuyu Hao in his tracks. Salim Hanna frustrated. Come on guys, you're not driving these cars anywhere near as good as I can. Get out of the way, let me through. Love watching these F4 drivers. They are adapting and developing to these situations as they continue to move forward. 50 seconds on the clock, so when they complete this lap we will have no time left, which means it's 2 racing laps left. Up the inside, nice defensive tactics there from Thiago Rodriguez to hold off from Abdullah Ayman Kamal and finish off the overtake. David Kozma, the Romanian, is going to be next to make the move, if he can try and make it work. 30 seconds left, and there is Renault Franco, now half a second behind August Reber. The lead could suddenly change with 2 laps to go. They've given Renault Franco the hurry up. Go on, go get him. You're half a second back. You've been looking after the tyres. Let's go take this win. So Reber and Franco, half a second between them. This is the fight for the victory, and Renault Franco is a fighter. So if he sees even a whiff of a gap, he's going to try and go get his first win. All of the drivers in the top 3 in this race have not yet won in 2025. Reber leading, Franco second, Powell third. All of them seeking their first race win of the season. Up to the top, through the left, through the right, and instead of continuing to steer right, you hit the brakes. It's so tough to get that braking zone right because you're still steering through the corner. Powell has fended off from Olivieri for the time being. Nakamura Berta still trying to take on Olivieri, and Stolchamanis giving them all the hurry up. Bondarev still looking good for another rookie race victory, so that will see him in good stead in the rookie championship. But overall race victory is going to elude him for the moment. No chance of the win, but certainly good points on the board, and there's always Dubai. Over the start-finish line, and it's 1 lap to go for August Reber. Can he hold on from Renault Franco? He's already pulled out another 3/10 on him. Has August Reber got what it takes to bring the victory home to the United Arab Emirates? Not many drivers from the United Arab Emirates have won races in the F4 Middle East Championship. Even in its prior guises, the F4 UAE Championship, only 2 successfully managed to get the job done. Now, my apologies, 3 managed to get the job done for race wins. Hamda Al-Kubaisi, Rashid Al-Daheri and Kiano Al-Azari. It looks as though August Reber may be about to become the 4th. So a fantastic run. Can he just keep this together? It's going to be so smooth for August Reber. He had a lot of pressure on him through this race, but he has been so calm, so smooth. He's one of the quietest drivers in the field, but his brain is like a MacBook. He's just ingesting all this information, all this data, filing it for later when it becomes necessary. He is such a smooth and calculated driver. He gives me the vibe of another Charles Leclerc. Really, really composed. As he comes over the top of the crest, Renault Franco is there, but he's not quite close enough. So it's going to be a really interesting challenge as they come off the turn. It's still a little bit close for comfort between the Race GP and Mumbai Falcons twins. There could be a bit of a last-minute late-braking manoeuvre. Renault Franco doing his best to close up on August Reber, but I don't think he's going to be close enough. There could be a bit of a challenge on the brakes for 4th position, but it looks to me as though August Reber has done enough. He holds on into the chicane. Just breathe, don't lock up. Renault Franco's going to give it a go. No, you don't. August Reber slams the door shut, and he will take the victory. August Reber wins at Yas Marina for Yas Heat. Brilliant. The home team gets it done. August Reber victorious here in Yas Marina tonight.
It's a homegrown victory for the man who lives in Dubai. He has taken victory here at Yas Marina. Just 90 minutes from home, and he will take a winner's trophy back to put on his mantelpiece on the Palm Jumeirah. Wonderful drive from August Raber. Second position for Renaud Franco, the Dutchman, able to give it the beans right to the end. And a fantastic finish for Alex Powell as he charges his way back to third position, his first podium of the season. And it's 3 very new faces on the podium for this season. Not a single one of the top 3 in this race have been on the rostrum so far in 2025. But August Raber is your race winner, and deservedly so. What a superb drive. All the pressure in the world from all the big players. He just did his job. He didn't look back. He looked after his tyres. He held his nerve. And what a smooth run from August Raber. Wonderful. So August Raber takes the victory. Renaud Franco and Alex Powell. And of course, as the leading rookie, Sasha Alexander Bondarev, the Bison, is going to join them on the podium. Wonderful evening so far. The first of 4 races. And an excellent display here in the F4 Middle East Championship. Round 2, race 2. Excellent work from August Raber. He can really celebrate. That was a flawless drive in his circumstances. He can be so happy. Good work from the number 47. For the Yas Heat team, August Raber claims the win. Had to work very hard to do it as well. He had a lot of pressure in that race from Alexander Bondarev, from Renaud Franco, from Alex Powell, from Emanuele Olivieri, from Kian Nakamura Berta. But he held on. It's a very successful win. The scenes of joy are already massive down there in the pit lane. And the Yas Heat team, engineered in assistance with Excel, the joy is going to be absolutely wonderful to witness. Out of the car gets August Raber. And for the first time in 2025, Yas Heat takes the victory, but August Raber is a race winner in the F4 Middle East Championship. The team welcomes him home. Senan Fielding gives him a lovely hug as well. And I'm sure the whole team will be ecstatic. You could always argue and say, well, yeah, it's a reverse grid victory. You still have to keep the lead for 28 minutes and 1 lap. And you have to be a Superman to soak up all that pressure and get it done. Well done to August Raber. He wins round 2, race 2, deservedly. Franco's second from Powell. Olivieri, Nakamura Berta and Stolchamanis score. Bondarev takes the rookie win from Savinkov, Molnar and Chetan Roy. Adam Alazadi in the points. The last points paying position goes to Sebastian Weldon of the United States. Cole Hewitson in front of Akil Alibe. Then it is Kyoho Lee from Fuyuhao, Salim Hanna and Abdullah Ayman Kamel, Thiago Rodriguez, David Cosma, Arjun Jaheda and Wang Ujur. And then finishing it off, it's Yuta Suzuki from Bader Al-Salati, Emily Cotti, Tahar Hasiba, Tamim Hasiba and Farah Al-Youssef. Only one retirement, that was Seth Gilmore. What a spectacular race for August Raber. In his home nation, he gets the victory, and very rightly so. Well, folks, it's going to be a very interesting podium ceremony tonight. The first of 4 and a very new set of faces that will make their way to the podium with 3 very deserving men on the podium steps. In third position for the United States of America, Alex Powell. Great to see Alex Powell break his silverware duck for the 2025 season. This will be the first of many, folks. We guarantee it. In second position for the Netherlands, Renault Francout. The Axel GP team gets some silverware on the board in 2025, and Renault's drive absolutely supreme. But your race winner for the United Arab Emirates, August Raymer! The Yazzie team on the top step of the podium once again, and a fabulous way to do it too. Let's welcome our rookie winner for Ukraine, Alexander Bondarev! For the Williams Driver Academy and for Prema, Sasha has done another smooth run tonight. Now it is my honour to invite Miss Shireen Al-Mazroui, the technical manager of Ithara and Marina's Yaz Heat Racing Academy, who will come forward to give the podium trophies to our race drivers in round 2, race 2. Starting with the driver in third position for the United States of America and Race GP, Alex Powell. In second position for the Netherlands and Axel GP by PHM Racing, Renault Francout. And your race winner for the United Arab Emirates and the Yaz Heat Racing Academy, August Raymer. And last but by no means least, to the Rookie Cup winner for Ukraine and Prema Racing, Alexander Bondarev. A fabulous first race of the night here in round 2, race 2. And we have a new winner from the United Arab Emirates. His name, August Raymer. Fabulous to win on home turf, just an hour and a half from his house in Dubai. But the boys now get to celebrate in style here on the rostrum. They have got another race tonight, so I don't know how crazy it's going to get. But the boys still want to spray just a little. It's time to get busy with the fizzy. A magnificent end to a brilliant, brilliant race. That starts us off tonight in fine style here at Yas Marina. There's more where that came from. Formula Regional Middle East is just around the bend for their round 2, race 2.